I made a taijutsu fight video a few days back and I got hilarious comments about Naruto getting his ass whooped by Sasuke, which frankly I enjoyed those reactions. And the more I thought about them, I said fuck it, why not, I'll make another one. And unfortunately I thought about my favorite 10 Shadows merchant. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like. That's about it. I don't really care for anything else. And with further ado, we'll go ahead and discuss how this man Toji literally came back with the milk just to give this man belt to ass pressure.
I'm trying to see we winning. I'm trying to see if you winning. How you trying to fuck up the money and still ask the niggas opinions?
Now, we got Toji versus Megumi. And I honestly find it funny that Megumi doesn't even know that he's fighting his own father, and Toji doesn't even know that he's fighting his own son. Now, while Toji starts walking Megumi down like he's prey, Megumi just sitting there confused, meanwhile just standing there scared as shit. So he decides to go ahead and form that dog sign. I'm not sure what the actual sign was. I kind of forgot how his signs work for shadows. Now, Toji stands there, gets ready to attack. Megumi realized that he is no match for Toji whatsoever. But before those two decide to attack, Sukuna's presence was felt between the two. Now, the only reason that he decided to fight Megumi is primarily because that he was the strongest one within that area. And mind you, he was in a group between Nyobito, Maki, and Nanami. So that means something in terms of strength wise at the very best. But once he decided to escape with the rabbits, Megumi tries to run in this isolated building before getting stopped by Toji anyways. And even Megumi himself claimed that he has no cursed energy to even summon another domain expansion. And even if he did have enough cursed energy to summon a domain expansion, what was that going to do? That's like the equivalent of you trying to capture a ghost with a bag. That shit is not going to work. They're just going to go right through that shit. Light work, no reaction. So Megumi decided to do the only thing that he could actually do was throw hands, and let's just say that shit was not going well for him. It was bad enough to the point that his own rabbits had to go jump in with Megumi, in which I ain't gonna lie, this is like the first anime where I've actually seen an animal decide to go crazy, slide for their own creator. Them rabbits are a ride to die. And Megumi tried to contribute, and honestly going up against a man who's bound to throw hands regardless is just pointless, not gonna lie. The rest of the rabbits tried to jump Toji, and Toji just decided to throw his weapon in the air, stomps the ground like he's a fucking thwomp, and then proceeds to poke every single rabbit out like they're a balloon. Now, once Toji eliminated all the rabbits, he finally grabbed his weapon, and then it just paused to Megumi being shocked. You would think that Megumi would be fine after that, right? Nah, I had no faith in Megumi. I'm not gonna lie. This man was getting belt to ass treatment. This man was getting tossed against cars, getting truck coons thrown at him. This man Toji was just walking him down regardless. Now Megumi is just running for his life. For seeing this man Toji just straight up throwing objects at Megumi with precise aim. And honestly, this got to be an impressive reaction speed feat for Megumi, because he's just dodging everything that Toji is throwing at him. And even the one where he nearly got his face popped off, and then he summons Wade as he proceeds to run off. Now Megumi is trying to think of a plan. Honestly, this is one of his smartest moves in the entire series. I'm not gonna lie to you. Toji decides to walk into a random room, right? And he noticed that some rabbits were just chilling. So he proceeds to move the table as they proceed to escape, trigger the water alarm to the point that it starts sprinkling everywhere, and then uses Noe to use his lightning to amplify the water that is sprinkling. That was pretty impressive. I'll give it to Megumi. But that wasn't Megumi's only plan. Megumi dodges Toji once again using the frog, and then Toji decides to just stare at him like he an animatronic in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Megumi can't predict what Toji is actually going to do, so he has to precisely time his attack or else he's dead. Toji gets ready to blitz this man like he's Sasuke. Before he even gets the chance to grab it, Toji is already there. Megumi proceeds to step on the bunny so that he can step inside his shadow, grabs Toji, and then gets ready to stab him. Megumi decided to take the stab anyway and proceed to try to stab Toji himself. Now, that was a great IQ play by Megumi. And then Toji decides to back away and proceeds to reminisce about the fact that he actually sold sold his son for some money. And then you see Megumi was about to get ready to summon Maharaga before Toji asked him a question about what's his last name, and heard the fact that his last name is not Zenin, is still Fushiguro. Toji was glad before he proceeded to go right back to where he belonged. Megumi sitting there confused, didn't even know what the fuck was going on, and proceeded to just walk over to the body and realize that that was no longer the same man that was trying to whoop his ass. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. That's about it. Any anime fights you want me to go over, go ahead and put that in the comments, and I'll gladly think about them for my next video idea. And yeah, I'll see y'all another time. Peace.